Not every day do you get a personal tour by the head distiller.
I ain't got me.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Is this for your social media, I'm sure?
So yeah, so this is for my YouTube channel.
I got you.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool. Good deal.
yeah.
You got how many? What's the name of your YouTube channel?
My bourbon journey.
I'll grab a drink.
And I did. She gave me. Mackenzie gave me some of the 2 year. I think she said tomorrow 2 year.
Yeah, the rye or the bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some bourbon that's in the 2 year mark, so pretty excited about that.
Yeah, you should be. It was really good.
You know, if it's up to me, a 5 or 6 year old product, I think is where we should be at. You know, we're only new once, and we really want to make. I really want to make, and I know the goals of everybody else here, the owners. We really want to make that lasting impression with that bourbon release, and
yeah,
especially what we actually started from. Now, we were fortunate enough that we were, you know, we worked with some. They have established relationships with other distilleries just from being in the industry for so long that really helped us out and gave us some good product to start with.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where a lot of our stuff is.
Well, you get to do your magic now. You know, you get to put like your thumbprint on everything
Sure.
and all of that.
And,
So
and that's we're excited. It's progressing well. It's aging well. You know, we use some really good quality barrels. Pretty sure we did everything right on that
Yeah.
stuff. So. But we'll start down here with our cookers.
sounds good.
So it speaks for itself. Everything we do here is all small batch. You know, it's all 1,000-gallon batches, which in you know the bourbon industry is kind of considered on the small side. You know, which is we've got 16 fermenters, we've got two mash cookers here. Everything is kept separate, and we do that solely so we can keep track of it to monitor it from start to finish. As you can see, we drop our grains in fresh as soon as we grind them from the tops. Pretty easy process. So after it's into the cooker, we then transfer it into one of our fermenters here. We run a 76-hour fermentation. So I'm not sure what some of the other guys are doing. Most of the other distilleries that I've been into, they do the big open top fermenters. We do the closed top. The number one thing for that is that when we do tours, we want to help kind of convert the CO2 away from everything.
Right.
So that's the biggest reason. And also there's some people out there that say that when you do the closed top fermentation, that it kind of helps intensify your flavors. And that's another reason why we chose to go with closed top. So everything's hard pipe, so it's easy to steam all the lines out, clean everything out, keep everything clean. We kind of hit on it a while ago when you and I were talking. That's being clean is another big
And important.
very important, very important. So then after the fermentation process is over, we go into our copper pots here. Once again, these are all matched to size, so everything is either done in a 500-gallon or a 1,000-gallon batch. So far, everything we've done has been in the 1,000-gallon. Once again, do all single pass distillation. So it's a short, easy process,
Yeah. Well, and you're not stripping away a lot of the flavor and stuff,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything's done in single pass,
Yeah.
Once again, every time you distill that product, you're losing things out of it, whether it be mouthfeel, flavor, whatever it may be. This is considered a hybrid system, because where the rectifiers are off to the side. Most of the time when you see these rectifiers are sitting directly on top of pots, we had height restrictions, so we had to set them off to the side.
Yeah.
And also something else that sets us aside a little from everybody else is you can see our gin baskets up top, so we can do vapor distilled gin if we'd like. That's why we have 2 10-plate columns as well. If we wanted to do a gin, we would use one for our gin, and of course the other one would be for vodkas or other neutral spirits. But then we've got our first 4-plate column here that's for our bourbon and our rye. Like I was telling you a while ago, we have done so far. We've done some bourbon. We've done bourbon, rye, and we've done some malt whiskeys. The malt whiskeys are pretty interesting. We did an all malted barley mash bill, and then we done a malted barley corn malt.
Interesting.
So we're excited to see how those work.
And they're kind of like giving you like the rein, like just take off, do what you want to do.
Sort of, and I work real close. The owner, we're independently owned. We're owned by a husband and wife, and she is very, very passionate about the industry, and you know, she's really excited about being able to switch up and do a bunch of different things, and as am I. So we're a little bit more flexible here. You know?
Yeah, that's nice.
So that makes it nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice setup you have.
And also, we are doing something else that we're doing. I think that not a lot of other folks are doing is we have a small herd of Kentucky Longhorns here, so they do consume our spent mash. So we're going to try to introduce I'm not sure, distillery to table type deal. So that's pretty interesting too. It's
yeah.
pretty fun.
Well, I mean, you're kind of giving back.
Sure.
You know,
sure. And that's the idea behind it.
And it's helping everybody out. I mean, it's a win-win for everybody.
You know, with all the distilleries that we have in this area now, we're wanting to show everybody that you can use this from start to finish. It's not just about the spirit making part of it,
Yeah.
but the spit mash that comes out of the kettles is a great fertilizer. It's a good animal feed.
Yep.
It can be used by many different people from start to finish.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a nice setup you've got. That's for sure.
Everything here was all built in the United States. It's something else that's pretty neat.
That's another thing, keeping everything U.S. You know.
We try. Like I was telling you, whenever I do that kind of stuff, it's a lot easier to answer questions than it is to kind of stay on subject.
Yeah.
And something else is where we're so small. It's we get that a lot from people that are on tours. They're like, we just wish it was a little bit longer. And it's like, well, hey, we'll sit here and talk about the weather if you want. You know.
I mean, hey, the flip side is you're not Jim Beam.
Right. No,
you know, you're not pumping out that kind of, you know.
And, you know, you don't have to be a distillery of that size to make top quality product.
You got it.
You know, and that's the idea behind the namesake of preservation is we're wanting to preserve the heritage and the true art form of making, you know, great qualities, bourbons and rye and any other distilled spirits that we're getting into. And, you know, years ago, these guys were doing this stuff with super small copper pots, you know, and that's really how bourbon got started.
Yeah.
And you know, it just grew from there. And I'm just super proud to be part of that industry, and I really respect those guys. And you know, it's a tradition and a heritage that you want to carry on.
Yeah.
And that's you know, it's the art form of making bourbon.
Yeah.
And, you know, we want to showcase that. You know, the big thing about it, the big misconception out there is everybody thinks bourbon is supposed to taste the exact same every time, and it's not. That's not what bourbon is. It's supposed to taste different. You're supposed to have subtle differences in every single batch, you know, and it's really evident here. You know, even with our two separate kettles here, we've got kettle 1 and kettle 2. We use the grains that come from the same farm, cooked, you know, in one of these two cookers, and the whiskey coming off of here always tastes different than the whiskey coming off of here, you know. And that's the cool thing about bourbon, and you know.
I always say it's the same but different.
Absolutely.
You know,
and you know, now with kind of the craft beer movement going, I think that's really what is helped driving a lot of this craft distillery and micro distillery industry, and you know, I think people are kind of catching on to it the same as I am, is where they're enjoying it's not supposed to taste the same. Every one of them is and even every drink is supposed to taste different.
Yeah.
And you know, each barrel you use has probably got, I don't know the exact number. I think I was talking with one of the guys from the cooperages. You know, every barrel has up to 20 trees in it. You know, and those trees are from all different parts of the state. You know, and you know, so it's going to have differences in the flavor profile that it imparts into the spirit, and you know, the water that you use, and even down to, you know, the weather, the time of year, what season it is, you know, all that stuff kind of helps play a part in it. You
Yeah.
know, and it's really evident now that I see all that now that I'm here and I actually see that it's being made, because I can truly, you know, you can clearly taste the difference of the whiskey that we produce in the wintertime to what we produce in the spring, fall, or the summer. You know,
Yeah.
and if we're wanting a personal opinion, I think the spirit that was produced in the fall and the winter seems to taste better than,
A little better.
than the spirits that are produced in the summer.
Just because it's gone through some of the cold, some of the expansion and contraction, or whatever.
I think what it is you know, we're not temperature controlled in here.
Yeah.
So you get your reflux and your still is so much more intense. So I don't know if that helps with it, or if it's just how the corn reacts, you know, from going in being introduced cold into the liquor. Or, you know,
Interesting.
you know, I hope that I don't sound unprofessional by saying that.
Yeah, no.
You know, I don't have the answer for that.
Yeah.
You know, that's just once again, it's personal opinion. That's kind of like,
Well, you see, I mean, you taste it, so you
Yeah,
like when you start kind of doing the math,
and,
you know.
And, you know, part of being the head distiller is making sure that and sharing my opinion on what I think tastes the best, and you know, our fall and winter product is really going to be special.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you want to maybe share a little bit about what you've kind of got going, like what some of your products like specifically will be kind of coming out before too much longer, maybe?
The product that I produced here?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The only issue that I have with that is I don't know what label we're going to bottle it under.
Yeah.
So, but I do know that we're going to have a very good quality 2-year-old rye that'll be available in the next 3 to 4 months. Once again, if it's up to me and solely up to me, which it's not, but you know, the owner and I, we get along really good. So Marcy, you know, she kind of is starting to listen to me more and more. So.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think it'll be another 3 or 4 years before our bourbon is ready.
Okay.
We may do a very limited release on a 2-year-old bourbon, but don't hold me to that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But it's possible. It's possible.
Well, you know, I mean, you know, I mean, you're tasting the stuff, you're sampling, you know, like when it's ready to go.
Yeah,
and if you're not being rushed to push it out to market, you know, that allows for you to be able to do what you do and get a good product out there. You know.
Yeah, and that's the toughest part of this industry is, you know, you have all this investment up front and then you have to sit on it for so many years, and you know, we both know, everybody knows that bourbon is booming right now.
Yeah.
Whiskey in general is booming.
Yeah.
So there's a demand for it, and it's kind of a you know, it's two-edged sword there. You know, you can. Do I put it out now or do I wait? You know, and
Yeah.
so it's kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Well, I mean, it's so nice when you're given the flexibility to allow that whiskey to age to the point where you know it's good.
Sure.
You know, you don't have the restriction of like the financial part of it, like where we need to get a 1 or 2 year bourbon out.
Right.
You know.
And another good part of that is we have guys that are very passionate about the product, such as yourself and other people, men and women too. There's as many women that come by that are excited about it as men. So it's nice for us to be able to offer some of the tastings of our younger products.
Yeah.
So we get that feedback on the progression of it because, you know, we're biased. You know, it's our products. Of course, we think it's great, but you know, it's great when you get all the positive feedback in the comments. So, you know, I will not say that no, absolutely, we're not going to have a bourbon that we'll release in the next year. We very possibly could do a very limited amount of a small release, but our rye, I know we'll do some rye. It'll more than likely it'll be under our preservation label.
Okay. Yeah, very very good. Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm super excited for what you guys have. I mean, I've had some of the old stuff, you know, before, but you know, I just got to sample some of the new stuff today, and I'll tell you, I mean, you can tell it's a quality product.
Oh yeah.
You know.
You know, I think two of the best products or two of my favorites. I'm not going to use the word best, but two of my favorites are the Rare Perfection, the 14 and the 15-year-old. Mm-hmm. You know, that just goes to there are so many good products available, you know, from, let's see, how am I trying to say this? I don't really know how to say it. I'm trying to see where I'm going with that.
I mean, you've got some. I mean, I guess the nice part is that you've got some of the older stuff that allows you to then transition into some of your new, the new stuff. Which I mean, that's the best part of it. I mean, there's a lot of distilleries who've gone from sourcing everything to then having to like try to create their own product to hoping that it's going to be something good that people want to buy.
Absolutely. I think where I was going with that statement was to say that we've got quality product ready like the Rare Perfection. To say that we've got quality product ready like the Rare Perfection, that we can kind of help hold us over till we know that we've got everything that we're producing here is absolutely, ready to be released.
Yeah.
And it's nice having that type of quality product to draw people in and to show them that, hey, everything we do here is going to be nothing but top quality. We've been really fortunate enough to do that.
Well, and you get to dial it in, so you're tasting it. I'm sure there's other people who taste it and everything, but you know like when it's ready. You've got a good base for already like what things taste like and what it should be. Now, I mean, again, you're not going to compare a 2 or 3 or 4 year to a 14 or 15. I mean, that's not fair.
Absolutely.
But you've got a profile that you're looking for on your new stuff. And you've got to like that.
It's nice to show that to people, to say, okay, this is the standard, this is the bar that we're shooting for.
You got it.
And even being, coming across something like the product you and I were talking about earlier, that Harvest Rye, 3-year-old rye, it's just
unbelievable.
It's a top-notch product, and there's word of mouth is the best advertisement, and that's another big struggle with getting in. Being so young and being in the industry like it is trying to get people out. Getting into the market is just as tough as getting started into the market.
Well, and even outside of that, I think getting people to understand that a good like bourbon or rye doesn't always have to be old.
No.
You can have younger stuff that's still a really, really good product. So people get fixated a lot of times on it being older.
Sure.
And it doesn't always have to be old to be good.
Well, like you and I were talking earlier, it's every aspect of this is a personal opinion. It's who dictates what is the best on the market.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the number one most common question I get asked is, what's the best bourbon or best whiskey on the market? It's whatever you drink, and whatever you like. And that's kind of like arguing with someone why the color purple or the color blue is the best color. There's everybody. That's another cool thing about bourbon and whiskey is it's each one is unique in its own way, and it's every one of them out there is always somebody's favorite.
It's so subjective.
So subjective, and 100%.
Yeah.
You couldn't have said it better. So, it's just that's a tough argument to make, but as you and I talked earlier, I think it come out and you see how much pride people, myself and the guys here, and how passionate we are about what we do, it really helps make that product taste better,
and it transitions. I mean, when you're passionate about what you do,
sure,
it transitions into the product that you're producing.
Absolutely.
If you don't care about what you're producing, people will be able to taste the fact that you don't care. If you care,
and I touched on it when we were talking a few minutes ago. It starts with using the best quality grains that we can possibly find. Being on our own aquifer here, using pure, Kentucky unfiltered limestone water. Constantly monitoring all that stuff to make sure it's the best quality that we can possibly produce. And just taking pride and care into every single aspect of it. Of the style barrel you use, the type of barrel you use, where it's stored at, how it's stored, even how it's transported. You have to take pride in every single aspect of it.
You got it.
And that's how you build a good quality product and a good quality reputable distillery. You're super prideful of everything you do.
Yeah. Well, before we kind of sign off, do you want to tell everybody who you are and the
Sure.
company and all that? And
my name's Matthew Jackson. I'm the head distiller at Preservation Distillery, independently owned by a husband and wife. Super great place, doing some super cool things. So if you guys get a chance, come out and check us out.